is your friendly neighborhood Menace Bunny. Welcome back to my channel. Thanks so much for seeing what I'm doing here. I hope everyone's had a lovely holiday season and a very happy new year. And yeah, well, it is still sweltering here. It's very hot, so I'm going to just be so good. Just my little fan and giving my wrist a workout because otherwise I'm going to become a just a pile of sweat and be disgusting, so no. Anyway, so because it is a new year, new me, and you know, I don't think I've ever done this, and I feel like you know, I've just kind of popped onto the internet and put my face out there and been like, oh hi, I'm a goth and this is what I do, and I kind of feel like I've not introduced myself properly, and that's actually quite rude of me, isn't it? So right, it is time for the Goth Tag. Right, so first question, how long have you been goth? Oh, well, I'm gonna say that I started getting into goth music when I was about 17 years old. So I'm not going to use any real names here because this person isn't online, and I feel like that's a sign that they don't want to be online or have an online presence. But basically, when I was in year 10 at high school, there was kind of like a talent show type thing, and you know, I'd written some stuff. I'd already been listening to a lot of David Bowie and Placebo and all sorts of other bands, but those were my two main loves at the time. Anyway, so all my stuff was heavily inspired by them, and you know, so I got up there and I did a little song and stuff, and this girl from the year before, like the year under me, came up and was like, oh hi, are you goth? And I was like, you know, and at the time I had like this idea of goths as people who liked very heavy music and had piercings and tattoos, and so I had like this completely weirded out, like, oh, I can't possibly be goth, I don't look like one, and you know, I don't have tattoos or piercings, and that's not me. I'm a goody little two shoes that go into Catholic school. I don't mess with that stuff. I just listen to this music that I really enjoy. And so this person, who I guess her nickname, so not her real name, was Mav. So Mav, she talked to me about, we just hung around listening to records and stuff, and you know, so we just kind of like talked about music and you know, all that stuff. So that's all we really did, and I got further and further into it, and eventually I started going to clubs by myself, and I'll talk about that at another time, but yeah, I don't think I would classify myself goth until others started telling me that I was goth, and I think that was right around maybe like 18, 19, though around that time I also ditched all my black clothes and stuff, and that's a story for another time. So I'm gonna say that people started calling me goth right around like my early 20s, but I was definitely listening to all the music and stuff before then, but you know, that's kind of how it goes. So I guess that takes care of the second question, which is how were you introduced to goth? Yeah, after a show at school. Yeah. So what gothic subgenre would you put yourself into? Gothic subgenre. I don't believe in that whole gothic subgenre thing. I mean, I guess you're talking about my fashion style, and if it's black and it fits and I like it, I'll wear it. But if I could be any kind of real goth, well, there's only one answer to that, isn't there? I think we all know that I'm a toilet goth. do you believe to be the basis of the goth subculture? Okay, well, that's pretty simple for me. The music, because it's the music which created the community, which created the fashion, which brought us all together in this lovely little gothiness. So yeah, I definitely the tunes, and then of course the communities. So, I do bang on about community quite a lot, and it's not because like I'm a sociology major. Trust me, it is absolutely, community is everything. And again, like, so that's it, I guess. Yeah, community. You, even online communities are wonderful that way, because like it's the whole togetherness. And of course, like, being a part of a subculture means we have these shared norms and values and everything else, and it's the community where we perform those things, etc. So yeah, that's my answer. What do you dislike about being goth? Not much. I guess I'm still really irritated that my mum keeps telling me to wear colour, even though I tried that and I didn't like it. What do I dislike? I do dislike, okay, here's what I hate. I despise the big titty goth girlfriend meme. That's just, can we stop? Can we please just stop with it? It's 2020, guys. We are not just some like fetish item, like, not me personally, because like I realize that I'm at an age now where I'm kind of invisible that way, thank God. But still, like, it really frustrates me that, yeah, goths aren't taken seriously because of the way we dress and everything else, and everyone's like, oh, well, you should just, dress like normal people and do what normal people do, except, but it's kind of like, right, well, why would I want to why would I want to do that? I mean, I like my community and I like my music and I like expressing myself this way, and I just don't feel like I should be pushed into it by like some Faconian mechanisms. Like, that's just not cool, man. Alright, but anyways, what do your parents think about it? Well, my mom had a lot of thoughts. She kind of like thought that I might be a Satanist or something. Again, I grew up Catholic, so my family's pretty conservative, and this is not the kind of look that they'd want for me. They prefer like the tea dresses and the pearls and those things, but sorry, not me. What do they think about it? Well, I guess my dad doesn't really mind. He's like, oh, well, as long as you're not risking your life and doing dangerous things and just being irresponsible and whatever. My mum still thinks that I'd look nicer in colour. Eyebrows or no eyebrows? I have, you can't really see them in this light, but yeah, eyebrows. I've always had an issue with my eyebrows. They've always been like thick 80s bushy eyebrows. And I used to hate them quite a lot, but I've kind of become really accustomed to their natural shape, and I don't hate them. Like, yeah, like if I'm sitting by myself, I've just got this look on my face, which is kind of me, like I kind of look angry because of the way they're shaped, but I'm not mad. So yeah, I'm gonna keep my eyebrows, thank you. What is your fave band? Can we why, this is so hard. Alright, so at the moment I have, well, okay, so who are my fave bands? I have fave songs. Killing Joke, I love Killing Joke. Red Lorry, Yellow Lorry, I can't say it. I love them too. The Mission, fantastic. Susie and the Banshees. I mean, how could you go wrong? Like, the talent alone. I love her to pieces. The Cure, obviously. So some of the newer ones. I'm really into Drab Majesty at the moment. So Drab Majesty, she passed away, which I guess not exactly kind of, 100% goth, but I don't know, that was a debatable one, and I'm not quite sure why. But yeah, so like London After Midnight, who again are also one of those bands which is like, oh, are they goth or are they EMD, or like what's the thing? But yeah, so that's kind of where I sit with my favorite goth bands. Your opinion on Marilyn Manson? Okay, So Marilyn Manson, the bane of my existence during my teen years when I had to explain to people a million times a day that yes, I had heard of the whole, you know, ribcage thing, and no, I don't think it's true, and also, no, I don't think that Marilyn Manson is goth. He's a shock rocker, and I've seen him perform, and he was so wasted. It was a disappointing show. I'm sure he would have killed it otherwise, but yeah, that year that I saw him, it was just kind of like he basically just walked off the stage and then like didn't. He was like cutting himself with a glass bottle and all this kind of thing, and I'm like, bro, what are you doing? I'm not. Yeah, I don't know. Like I like some of his songs. Don't hate him. Don't love him all that much either. But yeah, so I've got a very mixed feeling on Marilyn Manson. Of course, at the time that he was out making his music and stuff, it was part of the whole teenage zeitgeist, which I found myself, and I'm currently dating, like, you know, telling you my age. Okay, and what were your baby bat days like? Okay, so baby bat days. Oof. I am so glad that I didn't have a digital camera at the time. So all the photos of me as a baby bat have been hidden away for posterity somewhere. I don't even know where to access them to find them. But I used to think it was so cool with like my red tinted sunglasses and like I would have the same one outfit the whole time, which was like a black shirt with like an offensive thing written across, a split skirt that was like knee length, and I had giant platform boots, and like a leather long coat that belonged to my mum, and unfortunately I lost. I'm so sorry still to this day that I lost it. But yeah, so I used to think I was so cool, but really I was just very tragic. You know, my baby bat days were, as I said before, listening to music. Spent a lot of time in record stores, like having a look at all the different albums and LPs that I could possibly like get, secondhand of course, because you know, and also I did like really tragic, stereotypically goth things, like hang out at the cemetery and read Sylvia Plath and Edgar Allan Poe, because why wouldn't you? I think the dumbest, you know, cliche goth thing that I did was on a 40-degree day, get dressed up with my friend at the time, and go for a walk in the stinking hot sun in PVC, because goth. Yeah, so that's what my baby bat days were like. And of course I wasn't allowed to wear makeup as a teenager, so I had to always find a way to wash my face and get changed. There's a choker that I share with my best friend who's a metalhead, and we bought it together at Utopia Records, and so basically we'd just share it between us because we didn't want to, like, you know, get, so that way like I could be like, oh no, it's my best friend's. It was just, you know, it was just in my bag randomly, or she could say the same thing, because again, very conservative, strict parents, they didn't want us with like dog collars or anything like that. So my baby bat days were a combination of very wholesome sitting around listening to music, and you know, very very deceptive from my parents, like hiding my makeup and you know, hiding all the things, and you know, trying not to get caught with those things, because you know, yeah, my parents wouldn't have for a minute thought, oh yeah, no, she can keep this. It would have been like thrown out. So yeah, that's what my baby nut days were like. I don't know what we did call that, but yeah. So I guess that's it. That's it for the Goth Tag. Well, I hope that has somehow allowed you to get to know me a bit better. If anyone has any questions or would like me to elaborate on some of my stories from back in the day, I would be more than happy to oblige you. But yeah, so with that, I've been your fellow neighborhood nurse bunny. Thank you so much for checking out my channel and for letting me fan myself with this thing, because I am gonna die pretty soon. Anyway, yeah, it was nice talking to you guys. Alright, much love. Bye!